Hey, Dee here from D is for Digital. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Welcome to today's masterclass, which is talking about the importance of email marketing for your business. Now, I haven't honestly been a fan of email marketing for a long time, probably because I already get a lot of emails, so I don't like to receive a lot. The quality of some emails that I get is poor. The content on it is just a waste of time. So I end up sort of unsubscribing myself from distribution lists because who wants more email than they already get? But since setting up my online business, I've had to rethink my limiting beliefs around email and it being intrusive and annoying, because actually when done well, it is very powerful, more powerful than social media in some aspects. You can be very targeted with it. It can be done in a high quality way that your customers actually love and look forward to your content rather than seeing it as obtrusive. So I wanted to go over a couple of reasons why email marketing is important for an online business, particularly if you're not using email yet, or you have a little bit of I suppose, negative connotations around email. So I think you'll find this very useful. Now, number one, email can be more effective than social media. Why do I say that? Well, I'm on all the things. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on LinkedIn, and I promote my business primarily through social media. But I'll tell you one scenario I had. I got blocked out of Facebook. This is probably a couple of months ago I still don't understand why. I've been unblocked since. I had changed an email address or something. I was updating my contact details for D is for Digital. All of a sudden, I woke up the next morning. I couldn't get into my account, and this lasted for weeks. And I had customers in Facebook groups. So effectively, my business was shut down by Facebook for weeks. Now, luckily, I had another group, my Mighty Networks D is for Digital group, so I could talk to all my customers there, and I had their email addresses. So I could let them know what was happening, because if I had just been on social media, I wouldn't have had their email addresses and I'd have no way of contacting them to let them know what happened. So I think Facebook, social media is fabulous. I love it. I'm a big fan, but it also poses big risks for online business, because you cannot risk having Facebook shut you down for reasons that you don't understand. And I still feel very aggrieved by it. I'll get over it. But I was delighted that I had my Mighty Network set up, which is my D is for Digital community. Mighty Network is another kind of software where you can manage communities and groups. That's one big reason. So if you're an online business, you need to have your customers' email addresses, even if you're not going to email market them, so that you could contact them in the event that there's no other way to contact them. But also, why can it be better than social media? Well, it's in terms of you can know that the email was received and looked at by that customer, because you can measure it, and I will talk about that. You will all know, if you're on social media at all, that sometimes our stuff doesn't even get seen by our friends and family. Like, it's getting harder and harder to get our content in front of the eyes of the people that we want to see it, let alone as a business, even for those of us who have personal pages. I mean, I have loads of friends on my Facebook page. Some of them I might as well not be friends with, because I don't see their content. So it's getting harder to reach people. It's taking more effort to reach people. But when you send an email, it gets to their inbox, and and you can prove that it's there. You can see that it's there. There's software to show that it arrived, that it was opened, when it was opened, how many times it was read. And you don't have that kind of visibility and sort of guarantees online with social media. It's just not there. So that's another reason that it's very, very important. Two, it's also economical and cost effective. It doesn't have to cost you anything. I use MailChimp. And I have used MailChimp since I launched, because it was free. MailChimp allows you to create lists, email lists, and then design beautiful emails that you can send to those lists. They've changed pricing recently, but they certainly up until very recently had a free free plan that you could leverage. So it really costs you. It's very cheap and cheerful to create your email list, to be able to send emails out, and nicely formatted emails with nice templates that you can use. So it's extremely cost effective. You don't have to pay for marketing. You don't have to pay for advertising. And you don't need to be a genius to do it. And what I love, which is point 3, it's very personal and customizable. So I send out now, only recently have I started sending out a weekly newsletter, because I'm still not going to send out emails daily. I still I still think that's intrusive. It's just not my style. But an email catch up on a Friday is what I do, sort of, which covers the key things that I would have done that week, shares the key video content that I might have shared that week, or shares a particular message or a lesson that was that I think may be of interest for my customer that week. So in that way, it's extremely personal, very customizable, easy to use, totally, it's lovely. And number 4, it's measurable. So in MailChimp, I can see, was it delivered to everybody on the list? If there was a bounce back, so maybe I entered an email incorrectly or there's a typo, I can see if that happened. I can see how many people opened the email. I can see how many people didn't. I can see how many times a person read the email. If there's any links in the email to maybe click to a landing page or whatever, I can see how many clicks there are. So I get a huge amount of really useful content to help me improve the, I suppose, engagement with my emails, because ideally I want everybody, not everyone's going to open the email, like people are busy, but to increase the open rate by maybe improving the content, because maybe one week I get really high open rates, the next week maybe lower, and I can see, well, what's the difference? Why did this email get more opens than this one? And I can play and be flexible with content. And last but not least, and this is true of me, people check email all the time. Like I definitely, and I'm on social media all the time, I check my email more than I check my social media, or at least if not equally. So people are much more responsive to their email, keeping up to date with their email, looking at their email. So the likelihood of people seeing your email quickly and possibly even in real time is much higher than on social media, because a lot of the time, most of your customers come on at a particular time, maybe it's morning, lunchtime, or evening, depending on their schedule. So you're needing to get them at a particular time in order to see it, whereas the email will sit in their inbox. It'll stay there. They can look at it later rather than having to troll through a feed. So even though email can be obtrusive and there is these sort of negative connotations, because we've all received those kind of emails that we don't want, you can use email very purposefully, very strategically, in a very targeted way that your customers look forward to your content. And there's nothing wrong with asking your customers, like, how often would you like me to contact you, particularly if you're in Europe or you have European customers. There is the GDPR regulation where you need people's permission in order to email them. You need to be able to prove that. That's very important if you're listening from Europe. You need to be GDPR compliant. And that's easy to do, so don't let it stop you. It's easy to do. People can subscribe and show they willingly subscribe to your list. But you can ask your customers, how often is it okay for me to contact you? What kind of content would you like in your email that would add value to you, that you would enjoy reading? I mean, this is all great. This is helping you to get your customers to know your customers better, so that you can present them with content that's of value to them in a way that's unintrusive, that they look forward to, rather than, oh my God, there's another email from D. You know what I mean? Which we don't want that kind of reaction. So it can be more effective than social media. It's very economical and cost effective. It's super personal and customizable. It's measurable, and people check their email all the time. So those are reasons enough. I don't think you need any more reasons as to why you should have an email marketing strategy if you're an online business. And even if you're not online, to be honest, capturing your customers' emails so that you can communicate them through an email channel opens up a whole other, I suppose, window of opportunity. So get started, do it, try it out, have a look at MailChimp. ConvertKit.com is really good. There's a whole lot of software out there. If you do Google on email management software, email distribution software, email templates, all that good stuff, brilliant. And I'm going to be doing a couple of different masterclasses in the coming days all around the subject of email marketing. So stay tuned if you're interested in this. If this is new to you and you want to learn more, stick my teeth in today. Stay tuned, and I will see you tomorrow for the next masterclass.